We continue to witness the systematic crackdown on civil society, from anti-NGO laws to the criminalization, stigmatization, and intimidation of civil society leaders. I continue to monitor such crackdown through laws and policies in Southern Africa, including, but not limited to so-called NGO law, such as the PVU law in Zimbabwe. And according to worrying information I'm receiving, a draft NGO law in Mozambique that, if enforced, will restrict rather than protect NGO participation in public life. The COVID-19 pandemic, in particular, has posed unprecedented challenges to human rights globally, including the exercise of the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and of association. Some of the measures adopted have been geared towards cementing control and cracking down on oppositional figures, peaceful protesters, trade unions, rather than ensuring public health. Another negative trend over the last decades we observe is how states increase their use of technology, digital technology, to silence, survey, and harass dissent, political opposition, human rights defenders, activists, and protesters, and to manipulate public opinion. We have seen a rise in the new laws that give broad power to law enforcement authorities to conduct surveillance by weakening encryption, shutting down the internet, or closing down civil society organizations. As I said in my 2019 report to the General Assembly, closing civic space can increase the risk of instability, conflicts, and violence, owing to the heightening tension from unaddressed grievances and demands from those who are unable to channel them appropriately. The challenges facing the enjoyment of the right to freedom of peaceful assembly and of association are complex and rapidly evolving. This is much at stake. Failing to respond and protect these freedoms poses a risk to democracy itself and to the enjoyment of all human rights. Opportunity, however, are present to reverse these negative trends in Southern Africa. Evidently, the starting points in ensuring that local laws and policies promote and protect human rights, including freedom of association and peaceful assembly, is the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. I also wish to highlight the African Commission on Human and People's Rights guideline on freedom of association and peaceful assembly in Africa. Unlike most of other regions in the world, Africa has in this document strong guidelines which outline a best practice legal framework to ensure the promotion and protection of freedom of association and peaceful assembly, while also allowing states to enforce other legitimate responsibility, such as countering terrorism and money laundering in a human rights consistent way. I hope that Southern African country currently, or who in the future are looking to make reform in this area, will look to these documents as a keystone to how their domestic legislation should be developed and improved to better protect these rights and civic space.